Okay. 1 second. Get my computer set up in front of me so I can go ahead and talk about this. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shah. In this video, I kind of want to give a little message to my people, to the people, and bring out these verses, because when these verses were when I heard these verses be brought out, it kind of caught my attention, and there wasn't no, full in-depth breakdown of the verse, but when it was explained in this little minute that it was explained, it kind of like, it basically caught my attention, and it kind of like, pushed me to bring out these same verses to y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I want to go ahead and share my screen. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick. Like I said, it's gonna be really quick, nothing too long or too much of an in-depth lesson, but at the same time though, it is very important that people understand what's going on with these verses and why it's important to even read, this letter of Paul. All right. So 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9, all right. And this is almost kind of like a warning to Israelites, or at the same time like a call to action, just like mainly just a very important message to Israelites, all right, to our people. So 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. I'm gonna read it in the NLT because you can better understand what's being said. But 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9, when it says, when I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sexual sin. All right. Verse 10. But I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin. So let me stop right there. So Paul, he's addressing the Corinthians again, but he's talking about a letter that he written before to them again, but kind of like, more so reiterating and further explaining what he was talking about. Because like when it comes down to Paul, even Peter himself said that Paul's letters, like, they're very hard to understand. So even Paul himself had to further explain, and even break down what he was talking about to the Israelites, because of the fact that, like, once again, his letters are kind of hard to understand. So he had to break it down over and over and over again, and even go deeper into it. But when he said that, but I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin, or greedy, or cheat people, or worship idols. You would have to leave this world to avoid people like that. So when the verse he's talking about, or the letter he's talking about, is 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, when it says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers." So a Christian, when they just read this verse, they just sit here and say, like, oh, somebody who doesn't believe in God, someone who doesn't believe in this word, like, you shouldn't be with them at all, you shouldn't be friends with them. But literally, you have Christians who are friends with gay people, and it's kind of like, okay, how can you be gay and believe in God? It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, God is against you and what you do. But it's kind of confusing to me. But hey, that's the Christian way of living, I guess. But he's going to explain. Paul is going to explain the unbelievers he was talking about in First Corinthians chapter 5. All right. So I'm gonna read it again. So verse 10, when it says, "But I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin, or are greedy, or cheat people, or worship idols. You would have to leave this world to avoid people like that." So he's saying that basically, in this world, it is literally impossible to avoid worldly people. Like, literally everywhere you go, you're gonna find somebody who's, living wickedly, celebrating holidays, and getting drunk, getting high, the whole nine. Like, it's literally impossible to avoid those people, because they're literally everywhere. There's only a small amount of people in this world who are literally in this truth, while everybody else is just, going against the Most High's words and not really keeping His commandments, right? And just doing what they want to do. But like I said, in 2 Corinthians, he explains who he was talking about in verse 11. So let's see what he says. Verse 11 says, "I meant that you are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer." You are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worship idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people. So basically, you have brothers, sisters who are in this truth, when they claim to be Israelites, they claim to be, in this word, claim to be in this truth and everything, but they're still living, a wicked lifestyle, like, that's considered being lukewarm. So you got people who may, say that, oh, like, I'm an Israelite, and I know that, They may have their fringes on, and they may, like wear their hair wraps, all the stuff like that. But behind closed doors, they're cheating on their wife, or they may be, just doing a lot of wicked things. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting high behind the scenes, and drinking, uncontrollably. Like, you got a lot of people in this world who are like that. You know what I'm saying? So Paul is saying, don't associate with people like that. That's the people who you shouldn't be who you shouldn't be unequally yoked with. All right. Then he says in verse 12, it isn't my responsibility to judge outsiders. So when it comes down to people who are not in this truth, like, we shouldn't worry so much about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time, we do have to try to get them into this truth. You know what I'm saying? But the people who are already in this truth, those are the people who we worry about the most, or who we should worry about the most. You know what I'm saying? If one of our people in this truth is committing a certain sin, we should address it to them. If certain people, you know what I'm saying, if they don't know that something is a sin, then, you know what I'm saying, then that's okay. You can address it to them and let them know. And from that point on, they keep sinning, then just leave them alone, and they're going to be considered a heathen. I think there's a verse that says that, like, if someone, like, I'm just paraphrasing, but I think Christ said something about how, like, if someone continues to live in their sin after they, after they get addressed for it, like, at that point, just consider them a heathen and just leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about them. But if you have someone that's, like, in this truth and they're trying to come into this truth, like, they may be a month to this truth, or a week or so, maybe a year. It depends, because you don't have everything figured out, and you know what I'm saying, in a whole year. So it may take like a few years, it may take 5 years, it may take 10 years, who knows? But you know what I'm saying, at the same time though, like, if you have someone who claims to be an Israelite, claims to be in this truth, and claim to be really trying to live for God, keep his commandments, and they're doing these things, don't associate with them at all. But so the whole point of this video is, right, is to say that even though Paul is saying that there is really nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong with having, you know what I'm saying, so-called unbelieving friends. Like, if you have friends who are not in this truth, like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Just don't do what they do. You know what I'm saying? If you have a friend that's getting drunk, getting high, and, at the same time too, there's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying, going to the club with them, or, you know what I'm saying, going to a lounge, and, just standing there. As long as you're just not doing, you know what I'm saying, the wickedness that they're doing, is all good. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point is that, like, once again, Paul himself said, to avoid those people who are, you know what I'm saying, living worldly, you would have to leave this world. Like, you won't be able to avoid those people at all. So you may have friends who are in this truth. I'm not in this truth. You may have friends who are not in this truth. And some people, you know what I'm saying, that are not in this truth, they're very supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like, they support what you believe in, and they at least respect what you believe in, but they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, become a part of what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of like, it's very unfortunate, but nothing wrong with having them as your friends still. You can still, you know what I'm saying, hang out with them, talk to them, and love them from a distance. You just can't, you know what I'm saying, associate with them the way that you would with somebody that is a believer. You know what I'm saying? That is in this truth. But for those who are in this truth, and, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to really walk in this word, and they're, you know what I'm saying, they're what you call it, still committing these sins over and over and over and over again. Because, like I said, like, those people who commit these sins over and over, and, like, if they know that it's a sin, or if they're not even trying at all to even, you know what I'm saying, like, really live like an Israelite, really live in this word, then, you know what I'm saying, you gotta let them go. You gotta let them go, and just let them be, because of the fact that that's just that's just how this world is. You know what I'm saying? This world is just very wicked, and even a bunch of people who are Israelites, they live very, very, very wicked as well. So, that's why Isaiah 58:1, read this real quick. Isaiah 58:1, it says, cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and how subject their sins. So, like I said, anytime you see somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, in this truth, that's committing a certain sin, like, address it to them. And there's been many times where, especially like one time before, I think on TikTok, where there was a brother who basically, so we was talking, and this happens all the time when it comes out to this topic, but we was talking about pants and something else, right? And he thought that, you know what I'm saying, that women wearing pants was a sin, right? So I addressed it to him, you know what I'm saying, in private, and talked to him about it. And, I even gave my my stance on how I believe that it's not a sin. And I was saying that in return, he's committed a sin, because of the fact that Deuteronomy 4:2 says, ye should not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. So when people sit there and say, 'cause I'm not going to call them out anything like that, but people who do know, they know, but I'm not calling him out. But basically, when he said, when people say that, oh, women wearing pants is a sin, they're literally adding to the law. They're adding to these commandments and trying to make their own, you know what I'm saying, interpretation of what the word really says, right? So I tried to address that to him and try to, like, say like, hey, like, brother, like, when you are what you call them, you're saying that women wearing pants is a sin, you're literally adding to the word, because there's nothing in the Bible where it says that it is a sin for women to wear pants. You know what I'm saying? So with him, like, I just had to just leave him alone, because he still may believe, I think he still believes to this day that women wearing pants is a sin. He went his separate way, I went my separate way. Like, I'm not dealing with him anymore. You know what I'm saying? But if there are people in this world, you know what I'm saying, it's really trying to, like, progress in this truth and become better by the day, then those are people that you should try to associate with. Like I said, you can give some people, you can give some people benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? If they're maybe struggling and they're really trying to, like, really get deep in this word, those are the people that you should want to be with. You know what I'm saying? But if you know somebody that's just like living in this world and they're just doing whatever they want to do, celebrate all these holidays and not even trying to you know what I'm saying, take the word of God, you know what I'm saying, to the heart and really try to live in it, those are the people that you got to stay away from. And that's the warning that Paul was giving to the Corinthians at that time, saying that, hey, you got people who are in this truth and say that they're in this truth, but they're living wickedly. They're still, you know what I'm saying, doing these things, you know what I'm saying, that the Most High condemns. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with the I think the scribes and Pharisees. I think when God, I think it was not God, Christ said in Matthew 23 and 2, when he said the scribes and Pharisees sit in the seat, Slakia. The scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, right? So that meaning that they basically teach the law, right? Then he said in verse 3, all therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. So he's saying that whatever they tell you to do it. Like I said, what they tell you to do, the scribes and Pharisees, they tell you to keep the law. And they you know what I'm saying, explain the law to people, right? But then he said, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So basically, they're considered hypocrites. How they go out here and teach, they teach people to keep the law every single day. They explain the law, but they don't keep the law themselves. They're hypocrites, right? So those are the people that we should avoid. The people who are considered, once again, lukewarm, who they live for God one day, and they live for you know what I'm saying, the world another day. Those are the people that we should avoid, you know what I'm saying, who are very lukewarm, and they're not really trying to, like, choose God all the way, you know what I'm saying, and really try to go down that path of choosing God, choose the Most High Yahweh. All right. So that's all I wanted to really explain in this video, talk about in this video, because like I said, when that verse was brought out, it was very interesting, because like I said, I know a lot of people, there may be a lot of people in this world who try to condemn those who may have I guess unbelieving friends, or like you may have a gay friend, whatever it may be. Like, even though there's really, like I said, at the same time, it's not suggested, you know what I'm saying? But once again, Paul himself said that literally you can't even avoid people who are not in this truth. You can't avoid people who live in this world, who live wickedly in this world, because literally they are everywhere. And at the same time too, like, that's kind of like, who is attracted to us. So I'm not talking about, like, what you call it, sexual way or physical way, you know what I'm saying, but more so just in terms of, like, being friends. Like, when you go to school, whatever it may be, go to college, like, you may encounter some people who, you know what I'm saying, want to be a friend, you know what I'm saying, want to be a study buddy, whatever it may be, want to hang out, you know what I'm saying, like on the weekend, stuff like that. Like, you may encounter people like that, and that's just how life is. You're going to encounter people in this world who are not, you know what I'm saying, in this truth, and they're living wickedly. And you can at least try to convince them, you know what I'm saying, to come to this truth. If they don't take up that offer, just, hey, like, you tried, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just move on with your life, and at least try to help those people, once again, who are in this truth, and help them further, you know what I'm saying, get deep into it, as you know what I'm saying, the Most High wants them to. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I want to. Slovakia, stuttering. That's all I really wanted to talk about, though, with this video. Hopefully this video was edifying in some way, shape, or form to those who watched it. And like I said, just give all praise to the Most High for even giving me the information and the breakdown, and also just the edification of this verse, because it really helped me get a new lens on, you know what I'm saying, like, who I should watch out for, who are people that I should consider my friends, or because everybody that calls you, like they calls you brother, like what's up, Ak, what's up, Akoti, or like stuff like that, like you know what I'm saying, like they may seem very genuine, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time behind closed doors, they really don't care. Like they really, you know what I'm saying, living wickedly, and their hearts is not really in the right place, you know what I'm saying. So you got to really be around people, or really try to, like, have that, I guess, spirit of discernment to see, you know what I'm saying, a snake or so-called wolf in sheep's clothing, you know what I'm saying. So that's all I got for though. That's all I got for y'all though. I'm gonna end this off by giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shah. Until next time, shalom.